Aloha, everyone. Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. Oh, wow, my RBZ after hours. Nice. Holy moly. Woo. As I make this video, everyone, I'm looking at my RBZ right now. And it's up 100%, it says. But this only says that it's up 67%. 225, but awesome. All right, sorry about that, everybody. It just caught me on the corner of my eyes on one of my monitors. My E-Trade Pro setup. I haven't been looking at the after-hours action because I've been scanning. This video is public, so I do apologize for all members. You're going to hear me regurgitate stuff that you probably heard over and over this past week. The one thing I want to bring up is that the SPY intraday trading action is getting a little loose, erratic, and negative. But look at what we're doing after hours. I see my RBZ total on the day. It says it's 104% over here on E-Trade Pro. Here it says it's only up 67%. But this goes to the point that I was going to make with public members that are viewing this video that aren't familiar. Everything we're doing right now is working except for my one colossal blunder on Monday. And because I'm taking such small position sizes, this one huge mistake that I made that members are completely aware of, boy, RBZ flying right now, is that it just didn't hurt. It did sting. It was disappointing. It was my biggest loss on an individual stock in over a year, and I'll review that at the end of the video. But the main thing right now is that everything is working so well, I just can't get filled on anything. So what really stood out today is that with all the weakening in the SPY, look at the rally at the end of the day. This, I thought, would have opened when we went red, would have opened the floodgates here on this bounce to completely weak action and a weak close, signifying that our short-term trend change is finally here. That being said, we're not. And after hours, it looks like SPY is moving up into the close. So with all that being said, I want to remind everybody before we switch to Telechart version 7 that I don't fight signals and the market uptrend. However, I invest according to how things are lined up. And I want to show you guys the signal that always tells me to push it on individual long stocks. So let me switch to Telechart version 7 first. Okay, and as we go back to the SPY really quick, just wanted to show you guys, here's another long stock that we're long. Hit its first profit target today. It was 543, so I'm out half of it at 543. But still long. This was the signal date. Took me all the way to where you see this white arrow right here to get filled. But PECK, look at that. 142% gain in less than 2 months. And this just keeps happening here right now, big wave trading. So what I wanted to show everybody once again is that right now I'm piecemealing a portfolio together that I thought was never possible. There are certain conditions I need to really get aggressive in the market. One is a bullish monthly MACD. We're only now getting that on the SPY. We still don't have a cross on the IWM. What's going to happen when it finally crosses? Whoops, got to go back to the 9-day, the monthly. So what I want to show you here is that the monthly time segment volume is still bearish on the IWM since, actually it crossed back here. So since July of 2018, the SPY, this is the monthly time segment volume. It has been bearish and negative. There must be a hiccup here in this data because it really didn't cross here. So something's a little off with the charts right now on Telechart version 7. But it crossed in September in 2018. It still has not crossed upward bullishly. So until I get a monthly time segment volume that's in a bullish condition, that's when I really load up and take size and long positions. 5% per trade, 10% per trade, 2.5% per trade minimum. When it's negative like this, and I don't have any hot or what I consider beautiful, pretty, or perfect charts, I only take small position size. Well, with the way that we started off the 2018 lows, I've only been taking 1% size per trade. And it's been amazing that it's worked the way it has. Besides this one session right here, ever since I believe it was this day in October, I have not gone into the next trading session with more than 1% cash on hand. And once again, it's happening heading into Thursday. So before I go into the new long positions, once again, everybody can front run me. Everybody can do what they want. There is nothing I can do until I raise 1% cash. And I literally can't be any more aggressive than I already am at trailing my stops higher. Anytime there's a significant move higher in a stock, I split up my stops and raise one higher. Same with any stock that moves lower. If it's after the down day, it's above where still the most recent stop is, I then split my stops up and continue to raise it higher. So I minimize my losses, extend my winners. And then this takes me to today's fills. So to start out the session, didn't have 1%, took me 3 minutes and the first long to trigger HAE, and of course, it does nothing today. Here's my first stop loss level. Here's my final stop loss level on HE. There is nothing to adjust following today's session, but sure enough, I raise 1% and the stock that fills does nothing on the session. Okay, so be it. 10 minutes later, I finally raise another 1%. UHT fills. Now, is it my add signal in UHT here? Nope. Is it my add signal in UHT here? Nope. It's the long signal, I believe. Where's the 117 one? It's this one right here, the 117.89 from 1231. That's the one that triggers and fills. At least UHT was up today. I'll be adding a sell stop 1 cent below today's low day. 1, 2, and this chart is not adjusted properly for the dividend. 3, so I'll have 3 stops on UHT heading into Thursday. Then I couldn't raise 1% for the life of me. I came close to raising 1%, and there is a group of stocks right now that I'm really focused on. You see the white arrow? This was the long signal on ACB, triggered and filled, couldn't even get a full 1%. Just the way how bullish I was on the biotech stocks, I no longer feel like that about the biotech stocks. I now feel like that towards the wheat stocks. So even though I didn't have 1% cash available for ACB, it was close to triggering and filling at 173. I went in at the market and took as much as I could. I believe it was around a 0.85% position. It's insane. I can't believe I'm taking sizes small, but I'm not done yet. And it's worked out great. First profit target on ACB is 227, and in 2 days, we have a 20% gain. The one I really liked and wanted because of the high short float and the beauty of its overall daily chart was TLRI. But I thought it was up too much on this day, up 11.7%. The next day, oh, don't I feel like an idiot, up another 22%. But here's another one we just went long, GRWG. This was the long signal. Hammer candle over candle off the 50-day moving average, above average volume, green bop. It's in my perfect speculator scan. That's my top quality scan. Hey, it's working. Boom, boom, in 2 days. So that brings me with SNDL. Now, SNDL, 2 orders out here. Here's the first signal, 302. Here's the add signal, 296. It's always 1 cent above the high of the day, up and through. SNDL originally triggers yesterday. Don't have the cash available for either one. Never get filled. Nothing to do. Today, once again, I don't have 1% cash, but it's flirting around that 296. All that I have for it, I believe, Jay Fitz knows in the chat room. He's the one that told me, hey, better to have some than none. I agreed with him. I went in there, and I believe I bought anywhere from 0.25 to 0.5% of this stock. SNDL didn't have the full 1%, but I post all my trades live in the chat room. I told everybody, I'm taking the remaining cash I have on hand. I'm putting it all into SNDL. If it triggers and fills, awesome. Well, it did trigger, it did fill, and it was awesome. SNDL moved up 20% intraday. Wish I had the capital available for a full big 1% position, but it's impossible. Everything is working. And I'll show you some of the stocks that I wanted to get long that didn't work. So after SNDL, as the day went along, 1% was raised. ITCI ended up getting it. This add signal right here at 2686. This is triggered. I have 1 stop here, 2 stops here for ITCI after triggered. For SNDL, I'm adding a stop here right now. 1, 2, 3 stops for SNDL. Told you where the first profit target was. And then the final long position to trigger, SATS, once again, it's nearing the end of the day. It's the final hour of the session. I told everybody in the chat room, I almost have 1% raise SATS has already triggered twice today. This is the ad signal right here. 42.78 is in my good to cancel buy stop and limit. It hits it and triggers it twice intraday, pulls back in below 42.76. I have about 0.9% cash available. I go ahead and throw as much out as I can for this order. If it triggers up and through it, sure enough, SATS did. So I'm long SATS. I'm going to go ahead and put a stop here. 1 cent below today's low of day. One stop is here. Final emergency stop right there. So those are going to be my 3 stops on SATS. But that's it. After SATS filled, I only had 2 stops trigger, both profit stops, one on ACRS, one on CNXN. And that is still, even with that, I go, wow, let me do the percentage here. I head into tomorrow's session with 0.12% cash on hand. So I can't even take these new long positions. It's amazing. Now, really quick, I just want to show you how good things are going. This was the initial long signal in RBZ. It gapped up the next day, never filled until on the way down. There was an ad signal in RBZ. I barely have any left because it has not violated the $1 level. But that $1 that I have now left, that's up 100% plus after hours. But just look at some of these. PECK, we already showed you PECK. Boom, 142% since the signal. Here's MNK. MNK, 76% since the signal. SNDL was today, 20%. There's SYBX. It hit another 50% profit target today. SYBX next profit target for me is 358. What is our gain on this one now? 38% in a little under 1 month. Amazing. ACB, already told you about. 2 days, 20% gain. CRTX, this one stings. I forgot to adjust my profit stop here and was knocked completely out for profits here. It went on to go on another, went up 197%. What sucks, though, is that this was the ad signal. Told everybody this weekend, top priority for platinum members on the speculative long page. Whenever it triggered, didn't have the 1% for it, but look at what it's done since the ad signal. And this one was the priority along with Kala. And you can see here, Kala up 24%. But this is just amazing. Here's SNGX. This is when we went long SNGX, 43% gain. Here's OCGN. This one, 71% gain. Here's MRNS. Hasn't done much, up 11%. FAT hasn't done much, but still a good day. GRWG, we already went over. FRTA, here was the long signal. We have a quick 15% in there. HIIQ, here's the long signal, 11% there. DCPH, here's the long signal, 61% there. Look at this one, VBIV, 243% gain in VBIV now. STKL, 95%. You're starting to get the picture. We're doing really well here. SFUN, that's now up 100%. Golly, we can just go over and over and over. There's just so many winners. I'm tracking a ton. Guys, I never thought this was possible. Never thought it was possible. All I needed was a few hot setups, a few pretty setups, a few beautiful setups. We would have some big positions in like 1 or 2 or 3 names. All I needed was the monthly time segment volume to be bullish. It never has been this entire uptrend. So these 1% positions, they just keep working. Here's CSTL. Here's MIRM that's still working. Here's THO. THO is now up 45%. I mean, this is just nuts. Here's Plug. Plug is now up 85%. Oh, my God. Just look at all these guys. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Echo is a higher quality one, 10%. You get the picture. The bottom line is everything's firing on all cylinders. And that leads me to the new long positions for Thursday. First off, there's 3 quality long positions. I have some speculative long positions, but the total amount of long positions is actually the smallest it's been this entire uptrend. And the small list is what used to be a big list. What a market we are in. So the 3 new quality long position, 1 is too thin to go over publicly. 2 will go over. The first one is DAL. DAL is a high quality can slim stock. It's higher price, highly liquid. If you want to, you can buy in the money call options using this methodology. I recommend a strike price of 61, 60, 59. You want to be slightly in the money, so if you do cut your losses, it won't be that painful if it doesn't work. At least 1 month expiration. The game plan with DAL. Cancel some quality. 2.8% of its float is short. Earnings are out of the way. It's an earnings winner. I have a hammer candle within another hammer candle on above average volume with increasing green bop. 61.95 up and through 61.95. You have to buy it only up and through. I do not want to take it on a pullback to 61.95. I would only be interested on a pullback back to 61.95 once it trades back below 61.95. Then if it can trade back up and through 61.95, that is the only way I want to get long DAL. So DAL, 61.95. There's really only one cut loss level to work with, 60.85. But you know me, I never work with just one stop. I always have one and then at least one emergency one so I can give it some room to work. And that's with the gap fill here at this high of the day, 59.92. The only other quality long position is FOXA. And this initially came in my price volume bop surge scan. Seems a little extended. And on the short term, it is extended from its 5 and 20. I normally do not like to go long stocks above the 5-day moving average, but still, that being said, FOXA is still within this consolidation pattern. So it's not like it's extended from the consolidation pattern and above the 5-day moving average. It's right here. I got a bullish candle over candle on heavier above average volume with another pocket pivot point signal, increasing green bop. The game plan, good to cancel, stop 37.60, limit 37, or excuse me, good to cancel, buy stop limit order, stop 37.61, limit price 37.61. Perfect price or no position for me. Perfect price, no position. If that triggers, we're really kind of splitting hairs here. You can use this. This is what I'm going to do. This will be my first cut loss level. This will be my second cut loss level. This will be my final cut loss level after dead first day. Now, within that intraday session, once I get filled and put on my stops, it's just going to be one here and one here. And those levels are 36.35 and 36.10. Okay, so we're starting to run out of time on the video lesson, and that goes to my biggest blunder yet this entire uptrend, ACST. I have been hot at taking stocks at the market that I believe are going to move higher when I either have 1% just got raised and there's a few stocks about to trigger. I've been going in at the market and taking the stocks that I like the best, like what I did with SNDL, like what I did with ACB, basically, because it was straddling the good to cancel buy stop limit order. After ACST, I stopped doing the market and they needed to prove themselves to me. But still, I intervened with my methodology with ACB and SNDL, and you see how it worked. It was working like that with the biotech stocks until ACST. Here's where I went wrong, guys. I am so busy with so many signals. I've been doing so well with the biotech stocks, making so much money on them. I just threw my due diligence to the wind and just started to take every signal on its own. First off, you want to see two things wrong with this signal, why I shouldn't have taken it? Volume. I got a hammer candle off the 50-day moving average at strong recent price support. This is in my perfect speculator scan. What's the mistake? Volume is lower than the session before, and I disobeyed my rules. The rule was good to cancel buy stop limit order at 230. So if it doesn't trade up and above 230, there is no trade. You will see here on Friday, there was no trade. On Monday, what did my dumbass do? I went at the market and I bought it at 220 because I was certain it was going to move higher. Now, that being said, do you see another mistake that I made in this chart? Do you see this candle right here? What am I doing buying a stock that could have this kind of intraday range in it? This was dumb. This was a dumb trade. What did I miss out on? I never buy biotech stocks with FDA catalyst phase 2 or phase 3 events within the next week or two. ACST had a phase 3 data due release soon. I screwed it up, missed it, and that's what happened. At the open, I cut my losses, took my losses, slap on the wrist. It hurt, but it was only 1% of my account capital. All the gains this week and all the other winners, it's more than made up for it. If you like the video lesson, hit the like button,
Subscribe,